Hey guys, May here, and this is actually I'm at my other house in Alabama, and this is interesting as it is right in the center of Mardi Gras, just like New Orleans is too, and so surrounded, literally surrounded by parade goers everywhere. I wanted to say hi, and this is kind of a different place that I've never really filmed from. I have some of my art here that I create. And so this is all an atelier that I have here, a studio. So what I want to talk on for a second is the thing is I've had some comments, and this is really crucial also to address regarding the nature of existence and what I think. And from experiences that I've had and actually extremely like very otherworldly otherworldly, but not dreaming, like in states that I have my soul has felt, my consciousness, my conscience. I have had experiences, in other words, where I am certain that I have slipped dimensions. Totally certain. Totally 1000% certain. And here's the thing. What are we doing here? How did we get here? And so I just did that video on Down in a Hole because a lot of times I do get decode songs and lyrics, and I think they're there for a reason. And I think actually when I hear one, even when it comes to me, I take it as a sign. So I do think for sure that those of us who really struggle with this existence, uh, those of us not on the regular download, I do think that we have a stronger uh, charge, if you will. I do think that there's not a lot of souled beings here that are real souls. I can detect this through patterns and also through lyrics and music, through books, through the downloads that I get. And what I would like to do with those that I would on the channel that I've encountered in emails and such in the comments is I would like to especially talk about what I believe is dialing into consciousness. And I actually don't personally think or say Christ consciousness. And the reason why is because it kind of denotes like a religious connotation. And I don't, I just, I get it, the Christ consciousness, right? So, and essentially what it means is dialing in, tapping in from here, right? So, what I'm getting at is to dial in. What I would like to do is to help people to dial in to their higher level of consciousness. Because I want you to think, and this is where the Zodiac plays a role. So the Zodiac, from the start, this is Aries, this is the RAM, this is where you store your computer files right here. Okay. Um, Cerebellum, Bull, Taurus, Gemini, shoulders, like the angel and the devil, you know. And I'll skip some of the others for a second because I just want to get straight to the feet, which is Pisces, and that is the heel, that is hell. And what you want is everything to come up this way, right? and to connect to consciousness. You have a receiver here. This is your receiver. This is your antenna. It's connected to the ether. It's definitely connected to the ether. That's how you're there. That's how you're here. The ether is how you're here. This is how you experience. This is how you're even seeing me through the ether net, right? Because that's kind of crazy that you can even see that this is, I'm like in a screen in a box. So this is your receiver. So what I do is I connect into for sure into some of the I connect to some of the luminaries, the wandering stars. I also believe that I am connected to a constellation consciousness as well, as that is aspects of the brain essentially. Essentially, this is part of the brain. It is the connection, the sky, heaven, and you have a cord. You're recorded in here like a record. You are recorded. That's why there's no past and future, just a wheel, not linear. So you can access your records. I'm not talking Akashic. Well, you can call it that, but it's obviously it's very only personal to you, and you can access the messages. You've got to connect to it. One thing that I know that I've received throughout my life is when I really, really wanted things, when I really, really wanted them. Like, for example, when I wanted the job in aviation, working on private jets. I mean, this was an extremely, extremely competitive, very hard to get. There were candidates who had done tours in Antarctica, PhDs. I'm not going to go into all that. It was very hard, but I knew I was going to have it. And I'm not going to use the word manifest. It's overused. And for me, it's more of an emanate. And whenever it's a lot more than thinking about what I wanted. It was about thinking from start to finish. That's a huge part of it. Lighting candles. I always, when I really, really want something, will use the candle. It's the best form of light. I don't use that LED. That's why it's kind of like mystical in here. So I'm not totally in the dark, but I don't trust. I mean, Wi-Fi is going through that stuff. And so you want to be connected to source. Let the source be with you, right? You want to be connected to consciousness. I mean, that is you essentially. And I want to expand on that for a second. It's like in the song, Wish You Were Here, Wish You Were Here. In lyrics and songs, when they are saying things like, wish you were here, you, this is how I envision it. Okay. This is how I envision it. That it's like, you, what is that? You is not one person and two person. It's you, the self connecting to consciousness, like a U-turn, connecting to consciousness. Wish you were here is another aspect of the self that's not physically here, attached, however, to the invisible self, which is in the sky, which makes sense when you think like on the wandering stars and the luminaries, as it all relates to you. You have all the planetary bodies, Mercury, Mars, Venus, inside of you. So it only makes sense that it's outside. You've got to know that there's an aspect of you that's outside of here. And you've got to connect to it. And I would say the majority of people are not. Even truthers, even the ones that have great info that are very interesting, I would say a lot of them are not connected to it. Um, of course, there's different methods. Different people have different methods. I think the first one actually is very easy, and that is just acknowledging that it's there and that it's an aspect of you. And you also have to keep that in mind when when you want to blame, like we want to do the blame thing. They, them, right? I think one of the most difficult things for people is to realize and accept that they and them is an aspect of themselves. It's an aspect of the consciousness, which is outside of here, but corded into you. So, and what I was getting at is what I said when I got everything I wanted, the things that I really, really wanted, and I've been very fortunate with, to the point of envy of others. And it's been really good, and I know that I can help others with that because it's just difficult. I don't care who you are, what your station is in life. It's just not easy, right? The whole just experiencing everything, dealing with your avatar, dealing with the just the relationships and the everyday. So the thing is that and not only in addition to flying and flying on private jets and that life, also my art. I had an art gallery in the French Quarter. I have art here. I paint nearly every day. And the thing is and I write and I read and yeah, pretty much everything that I could go down a list. I don't have to do right now, but like that I wanted. And it helps me, gives me faith in that I know that if somehow I'm going to crack this code to leave this matrix. Because to be honest, I'm not totally sure that death is the way out. And I know that could throw you off in whatever you think, you know. However, not you have to consider that of what they say to us, very little of what they say to us is accurate, is true, is real, right? There's so much deception. So why would you think that death would be any different? And I do look to language. I do look to language for this a lot, and I do look to sources and just my own inner knowing. And that's what I want to help you guys with. It does relate to the zodiac. There's definitely a relation to the zodiac. There's no denying that. But I do think that the zodiac is it was something that was implemented here. It was something to attach to create a sort of cult of personality and your script here, right? So the thing is with the script, you need to know your lines, you need to know your role, you need to know what route for you is the best. Are you doing the true calling that the special talents that you have that make you unique? Are you doing that here? That's how I think that the zodiac, that's how I think that the zodiac can help you. So I certainly don't think that it's anything that we grew up learning. It's nothing like that. It's more, it's just consciousness. It's just an extension. That's all it is an extension of you. The waveforms that help create this experience. And even though some people may not agree with this or like this, consciousness energy doesn't die. And so it wants this. And that includes the suffering. That doesn't mean it has to be here. I'm not going down that and the whole contract and no. I'm just saying that it wants to experience. Is it seduced to come into here? Is it tricked? Yeah, there's a good chance. But to spend too much time wasted on if you were to be angry, right, or resentful against what could be the evil doers is a waste of time. We know that they're here. But once you realize that none of it's real, it's the most important thing. It's like the Beatles said, and it wasn't an accident. Nothing is real. They had that on the front of their gate. If you remember, nothing is real. So, so once you really, really get that, I mean, really get it, and maybe it's not overnight, but once you do, there's very little that can touch you. And one other thing I want to add, because I do want to do some videos on songs. And I do think that one way of getting out of here is training in your head how to fly, training yourself how to fly. Like in the words of Pink Floyd, learning to fly. I think they're telling that to us for a reason. Learning to fly, learning to levitate, like just imagining yourself levitating, right? This spirit rising, this around you rising, rising, rising. And I actually really 1,000% believe that will help you with getting through and the things that you want. To be resistant, to go down the road of it's hell, it's awful, it's a trap, all these things. Okay. I think only hinders you. And as a matter of fact, I think some of the truthers, and there's a couple of really famous ones who will say that when you are to separate the body for, consciousness from the body to escape here is to say that you're in awareness. No. What does a computer use? Software, hardware. No. No, you have to go further than that. The correct terminology, I don't know, maybe that you're an essence, but whatever you are, you're not going to say to yourself, I am awareness, because awareness is going to come right back here. You're going to do the U-turn, the you that's out there, that Pink Floyd sings about with Wish You Were Here. When they sing about the you, there's the you up there, out there. Is there anybody out there? Who he's singing to when he says that. Is there anybody out there? Just not if you can hear me. And then he talks about is there anyone at home? Which really means, is there anyone at Om? Om is the highest point. I consider Om to be Polaris, actually, the yellow star, which is why they're doing the whole ID thing. And it makes the projection here. It's like the projector. The Masons love Om. I do know quite a good deal. Having just having flown over the years, not hearing stuff, conversations, reading, just the intrigue, Om is huge. Om is huge. And I'm going to close this in a second. I'll expand more on that. Om and also north, north and south. Like north is Thor is thorn, right? Like the cross, the crucifix, the zodiac, and the thorn, north. Okay. South is one that I want to do a video on, as I noticed that south is an inverted word of shout, as in tears for fears, as in shout in general, shout, south. And what I noticed is that with the projector, if you will, we have a sort of theater here, the ether, the theater, the ether, the here, the there, right? And you're living out your script, right? So I know that I'm getting downloads. I know that I'm getting clues on the access, on the exit. The right now, though, the main agenda that I have is to help others and to inspire and to just explain my own connection. You remember the in the painting? Robert Plant always, Led Zeppelin always points. There's a reason. There's a reason that they're pointing. There's a reason. There's a reason that that ET is pointing to phone home. He's phoning home. And I want to help teach you that. So it's so loud here. I'm gonna have to close it. There's just parades going on everywhere. You wouldn't believe. I think tonight is the mystic crew of time. And Fat Tuesday is Mars, worshiping Mars on Tuesday. And I'd be so glad it's over. I grew up with this stuff. So in Alabama and New Orleans, Mardi Gras, this is, they come out, the dredges of society are out. They're in their element. This is their habitat. It's like a zoo. And that's great. They're just all ignorant. So I'm just gonna be glad when it's over. I'm just gonna be so glad when it's over. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say really. And I will have more in the next video. This was just actually a precursor because I'm going to expand on this also in the next one. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.